Let us in, please, Billie. We are here because this is stolen land, Billie, and we think we should be given access to your quite lovely $3 million mansion.
Please let us in, Billie. Billie, we believe we should have access to your beautiful $3 million estate, and we're here because this is stolen land. What might have been the biggest controversy at the Grammys erupted when Billie tried to make a statement. Reporters soon showed up at her home, and Bill Maher called out celebrities, saying they should either return the land or stop speaking about it. Hollywood, meanwhile, largely avoided addressing the tough questions this raised. Here's how it unfolded. When Billie accepted her Grammy, she repeated a quote that has become popular among activists: "No one is illegal on stolen land." The crowd cheered, other celebrities stood up, and nods of agreement filled the room. On social media, the clip spread rapidly. But unlike typical award speeches that quickly fade, this one lingered because someone asked a pointed question. If no one is breaking the law on stolen land, does that apply to your own land, or is it only something you say on stage? The moment escalated quickly. A TV crew appeared at Billie's Los Angeles home, highlighting the fences, cameras, and clear signage marking it as private property. The contrast was stark. On stage, boundaries are ignored. At home, they are enforced and strictly protected. The discussion shifted from a single comment to broader issues: hypocrisy, wealth, and whether celebrities actually live up to the ideals they promote. Then came Bill Maher. His critique took the story viral. He called out Democrats, award shows, and celebrity culture for what he described as performative guilt with no real action. Billie became the most visible example, but she wasn't the only target. Maher's message was simple and direct: either return the land or stop talking about it. And when someone on the left says that, people pay attention in a way they often ignore otherwise.
And finally, new rule, memo to Democrats: if you ever want to win an election again, the absolute most important first step is stop doing this.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Yeah, I don't know if we're still saying cringe. But if we are, that's this.
The impact of this moment was amplified because it wasn't framed as a simple left versus right debate. Instead of empty slogans, it became real life. Maher wasn't discussing history or policy, he was emphasizing consistency. If you want to claim land is stolen, owning land makes that point tangible. Once people realized this, interpretations of Billie's remarks shifted. It was no longer abstract, it was personal. There was a real, gated property with locks and security, a physical space. Just when it seemed this would remain a viral clip for laughs, events escalated, making many wonder if the situation was getting serious. Let's examine the timeline, which matters more than most realize. The Grammy Awards took place, and Billie won. She took the stage at a moment meant to provide moral clarity and support, saying, "No one is illegal on stolen land." It was intended to challenge immigration laws and encourage a shift in perspective. In that moment, it worked. People stood, cheered, and applauded. But the story didn't end there. Within hours, the video went viral online. Some praised her for using her platform to speak up. Others rolled their eyes, saying, "Celebrities love statements that sound deep, but cost them nothing." The discussion changed when critics pointed out something obvious. Billie owns extremely expensive Los Angeles real estate, complete with fences, gates, security cameras, and privacy barriers. People began asking, if all land is stolen and no one is illegal, how does that work at your gate? This question moved from online jokes to real action when reporters showed up at her house. Cameras rolled, gates stayed closed, clear and unmistakable. The reporter highlighted the absurdity. If everyone is on stolen land, it shouldn't be difficult to visit. The images weren't nuanced, they were provocative, and they achieved exactly that. The video went viral not out of cruelty, but because it visually told the story: security cameras, metal gates, and a private mansion. No laws were broken, but the images made the message undeniable. Bill Maher's commentary expanded the conversation. He criticized award shows for performative land acknowledgements while pointing out that celebrities, including himself, continue living comfortably on the same land. He spoke plainly: either give the land back or stop pretending your words mean something. This wasn't a right-wing critique. A left-wing voice was saying enough was enough. Maher's framing shifted the perception of Grammy applause from courage to group behavior, igniting a wider debate. Are these speeches about justice or about feeling good in a room that already agrees with you? What seemed like a topic limited to internet debates, jokes, and viral clips suddenly grew complicated. Social media split almost instantly. One side argued Billie's comments were symbolic, claiming critics were missing the point. and that no one truly expects celebrities to surrender their homes. The other side pushed back aggressively. If it's symbolic, don't treat it as moral truth. Clips were shared side by side, Billie saying no one is illegal on stage, followed by footage of her gated property and security cameras. The contrast was clear, and the humor often sharp. Some viewers were annoyed, others were frustrated that a wealthy individual was making statements about borders and land. Adding complexity, native groups entered the conversation. Critics argued that land acknowledgements are meaningless if no action follows. Some felt it was unfair to use indigenous heritage as a weapon in celebrity disputes. The debate intensified as few wanted to speak for tribes they weren't part of or risk ignoring history. Tensions rose further when reports emerged that law firms had offered to help native tribes reclaim land, literally or symbolically, after celebrities admitted they lived on stolen land. This was not a formal eviction, it was symbolic, but even symbolic associations are something few celebrities want attached to their name. Then, political figures, including Ted Cruz, weighed in, criticizing what they saw as Hollywood's anti-American sentiment. He questioned why entertainers profit from ideas that challenge the legitimacy of the country. The clip went viral again, perfectly intersecting with debates on politics, entertainment, and power. Notably, not everyone who supported Billie also supported the message itself, adding yet another layer to the controversy. Some supporters argued that Billie is young and repeating things she learned online, while others insisted she had good intentions and didn't mean any harm. But good intentions don't erase consequences. In this case, the impact was clear. Someone living behind expensive walls made many feel disconnected and less human. As reactions multiplied, one thing became unavoidable. This story was no longer just about immigration. It had become a question of whether celebrities recognize how different their lives are from everyone else, and whether the public is finally tired of pretending that gap doesn't exist. To understand why this struck such a chord, consider the broader pattern. Award speeches turning into moral lectures isn't new. Celebrities have long used these moments to express political or social views, often using familiar lines and receiving predictable applause. For a long time, it worked. But times have changed. Audiences are more skeptical, many are struggling financially, homeownership feels out of reach. The sense of security has weakened. When someone with a gated estate talks about stolen land and boundaries, it resonates very differently. It feels disconnected from reality rather than inspiring. Historically, land acknowledgements have often been symbolic. Many indigenous activists argue that words mean little without action. When celebrities publicly acknowledge stolen land yet privately profit from owning it, it reinforces the idea that these moments are performative, more about feeling good than doing good. Billie also represents a generation raised on online activist phrases like "no human is illegal." The problem is that slogans oversimplify complex issues. Immigration, property, and history cannot be condensed into a single line, and the cracks show almost immediately. The reason this blew up wasn't just her statement, it was the frustration it revealed in others. Elitism, Hollywood culture, and being lectured by people with vastly different lives all fueled the backlash. Billie became the face of something much larger than herself, whether she wanted it or not. The question now isn't just whether she regrets the statement, it's whether public figures will speak freely when audiences can no longer separate the speaker from the message. Here's the bottom line. Billie Eilish's speech, meant to show empathy, sparked debate over wealth, hypocrisy, and Hollywood's values. Carelessness matters more. When you're famous, words are now tested against actions. The backlash may fade, but the contrast between claim and reality is unforgettable. This moment will make celebrities pause before speaking on issues they don't fully understand. Was the criticism over the top or justified? The discussion isn't going away anytime soon.